Well, the company I work for is a national brokerage, registered in all 50 states, online brokerage, uh, discount brokerage, ESOP, and various other pieces and parts of the brokerage industry, national scale, and I am the CTO for the company. Well, I think that the problem that our company was facing is a recurring problem that our company faces, and it's rooted in the fact that we grow through acquisition. So in short, we look to acquire companies so we can essentially increase our size. What happens with this is that you have to go through and do due diligence on all of these various companies, and part of that is in the technology space. So to that end, we use the 240-point inspection that Scorpion provides to do the due diligence in that technology space. The 240-point inspection is the most complete technical document of questions that I think I've ever seen in my life. It takes technology and breaks it down from the very smallest of things to the very largest of things, and for every process and procedure that should be in place, as well as the architecture and all of the fundamental pieces and parts of any given infrastructure and development effort. So to that end, this document is an incredible, powerful tool for helping to define the true value of what it is that a company is presenting on their balance sheet. So we've used the 240-point inspection on a number of different occasions, and I think what's interesting about it is that in each and every instance that we've used it, we've come up with different results when we looked at the other company and the analyzing that was done on it. To that end, not only did we find things that were interesting, but the companies themselves that were being analyzed found things that were incredibly interesting that they didn't even know about themselves or their own infrastructure or their own development. So it's been an incredible experience in each and every case. In one case, we found out that we were interviewing the wrong company. We were looking for specifics about code that they had, and as it turns out, it wasn't their code to begin with, which I thought was fascinating. In another case, we found out that the company looking to be acquired was telling us one thing about the code, and it was robust and developed well and standardized, and as it turns out, it really wasn't. It was none of the above. In fact, it was unsupportable. And then in a third case, what we found out is that the code itself, although it was very well written, was written in such a way that it wasn't going to be to the taste or liking of our company. And in that case, we just simply had to move on. So it's been an interesting ride with the 240-point inspection, but the one thing that I can tell you unequivocally is that anytime we go to analyze a company that's based or rooted in technology or trying to sell or pitch something in the technology space, that we get Scorpion involved and we get that 240-point inspection done, so we have a true valuation as to what it is that we're dealing with. And because of that, we've been able to not only save money and save bad business situations, but really become much sharper at what it is that we do in the technology space. Additionally, I think one thing that's extremely important to understand is that the 240-point inspection is so thorough and so in-depth that it can be a bit startling to the people who it's being administered on. And what's been great about Scorpion is even though they're in the room and the information is clearly startling, Scorpion's been nothing but professional. The tenor of the room has always been positive. It hasn't been an aggressive attack in any way, shape, or form, and it hasn't been meant to make anybody feel uncomfortable. It was all done in context of due diligence with a positive attitude and a positive dialogue in both directions. And I think that that's critical because when you're analyzing a company, there could be something which is good and there could be something which is bad, and when the bad comes to light, that doesn't necessarily disqualify anybody. It's just something that's come to light and is another piece of the puzzle. So in this case and in all cases, with the 240-point inspection, Scorpion has been extremely professional and has really conducted themselves in a manner which would be acceptable in any given business situation. So wrapping it all up, I think it's important to understand that we are a brokerage house. We are not a IT company, and we are not a development house. And although we have competency in some of those areas, we don't have extraordinary competency in those areas, meaning those are not our primary functional areas. And what having a partner like Scorpion has done for us is it's enabled us to have a level of confidence in doing things technically that perhaps we wouldn't have had before. And it's enabled us to look at other companies with a level of confidence to ensure that we don't end up in a bad place. And that level of confidence is extremely important in the business climate today, for sure.